the scale went the other way and I started gaining weight back. And I was like, whoa. You know, part of it was diet, I'll be honest. I would celebrate as I was losing. And so sometimes that celebration surpassed the weight loss that I was doing in the initial goals. But what also was happening though was that my body was now gaining muscle. So if you look at Monica at this particular weight at one point, and you know, probably body fat percentage was, who knows, it was extremely high. Nearly half of my body weight at one point was fat. So where now I'm leaner than what I was, and more muscle has gained, and muscle does weigh more than fat. So when the scale went up, part of it was because I wasn't challenging myself and wasn't being as consistent as I needed to be. But in addition to that, my body was changing. And so I started to embrace that change, made some changes once again in the kitchen, got back out there, and just start working out hard again. Now, for a while, you know, I'd lose a pound or two here or there, but my inches just kept coming in. And I'm fitting clothes in a way I hadn't fit in a long time. Stuff that I was getting ready to send to the Goodwill because it was too snug, I had to hold off on, because I'm like, wait a minute, I need to get rid of these other clothes and hold on to these. To the point now, I feel like I'm at this, I guess if you want to say this, I won't say massive weight loss, but in the last 10 days, I've lost about 6 pounds. And what's funny is I made a bet with the trainer that I had. You know, he's now 6 feet on my way. He said I am doing well, and if I want this now, I have to be committed myself. But before then, about a month or so ago, after I had experienced another success, I said, I'm going to get down to this particular weight. And it wasn't that he didn't think I could do it, but based on what had happened in the last 90 days, it was basically that much more amount of weight that I wanted to lose. And he was like, well, I believe you could do it, but you're going to have to change some things. You're going to have to tighten up that diet, and you're going to have to be consistent. And I was like, I can do this. So every time, you know, I would weigh in, which is usually twice a week, probably at the top of the week, so we can see if I cheated over the weekend, and then right before the weekend begins to see where I'm at. I had this success, and I was about maybe 3 or 4 pounds off my goal about a week or so ago, and I said, you know what, I'm going to do this. So I really paid attention to what I was eating, what I was doing, really challenging myself on the cardio, and sometimes it wasn't as long, but it was more intense than what I had been doing. And I challenged myself in the goal I set to be able to be at a level 5.0 and run consistently or keep it on for about 40 minutes. I was able to hit that, and I didn't even necessarily need that till sometime the end of February, early March. So sometimes weight loss and stuff comes when you challenge yourself past beyond what you're doing, within reason, of course, but when you're feeling a little strained, because you will plateau if you continue to do the same things you've always done. Just as the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over, expecting different results, it works the same way in the gym. That's why there are so many people with gym memberships who are like, I'm going and saying, what is the purpose? Well, it's not that they don't work, but it's like you're going to actually have to come in here and put in work besides just show up and hop on a bike or pick up a weight for so many minutes and expect to change. At best, when you do that, you'll maintain, you won't go. So other tricks such as not necessarily, especially for those of us women who are thicker, who are kind of Shiras or looking to burn and be leaner, you don't want to go and show everybody how muscular you are, you know, because I can lift quite a bit of weight. I've always been really, really strong, but I'm not trying to bulk up. Ladies, we are not men, and they may be going in the gym to swell up when we want to slim down. So what it is that he trained me up to get to a certain amount of weight that I could hold, which was much better than when I started. But instead of continuing to increase the weight, we increased the reps. So, you know, when I first started, I would struggle to get to 7 to 10 reps or something. Then once I built up to that, he tagged on to, it was to 12. And then once I got comfortable with that, he had me go to 15. Then we started back over at 10, went higher with the weight, but would do 2 sets of 10, and then challenge myself to do the last 2 sets at 12. I got comfortable with that. Then we went to everything's at 12. Once I got that down, then it was 2 sets of 12 and then 2 sets of 15 with an increased weight or increased reps. So Now I'm up to reps of 20 or 25 depending on the exercise. And so in moderation, you'll kind of figure some things out. There's nothing set for any one person. So I couldn't say, okay, ladies or gentlemen, you do this many reps for this long, this many times, and that's your thing. You'll know. Some people, you know, because you get cardio too. As many times as you're doing that, if you're lifting a weight of 5 or 10, you're doing that 25 times, that's maximized every time you do that. And it's harder every time you lift it up. So you essentially could lift a 5-pound weight, do it 30, 40, 50 times and get just as much of a burn and be as tired as if you lifted something, you know, twice or 3 times as heavy and only lifted it 10 times. But also you're leaning up because you're not bulking up by lifting heavier weights. Heavier weights will increase the muscle quicker, but it won't necessarily lean you up. And so that's what I've been going for. And so finally, I've kind of figured a groove out to where in certain areas I've increased the weight and kept the reps moderate because there are certain places I still want to build muscle. But then in most cases for me, I've increased my cardio, the intensity of the cardio, and the repetitions of the weights that I lift. So there's just a few tips right there, and I'm sure I'll have another tube coming out talking about some things to consider that may not even have anything to do with weight at all. But I do want to thank everybody who has stuck with me, who's believed in me all this time, and all of that. But just as I'm here today to tell you all these tips, know that as soon as I turn this off, I'm actually getting ready to hit a couple videos. I'm trying to change it up, start to do 2 a days. You know, my birthday is around the corner, and I want to be able to fit into that dress that I bought that was 2 sizes smaller intentionally to see if I could push myself to make that happen. Whether your goal is 2 sizes or like mine at one point, it was 12 sizes. You can do this, and you have to believe it starts with you and your level of commitment. Thanks, and this is Monica Magnificent McGee of Monica Magnificent McGee's 99 Days to Find. Stay tuned for another tune. Have a good day.